game. D. Winters had an ankle, did not return. Hargrave there at the end had a tricep. He didn't return either. Go ahead. Yeah, I think, it was a frustrating game throughout it. I thought we had every chance to win that game. I thought also we had a number of times in the game we had opportunities to run away with it, especially early in the game, having that 14-point lead. And they hadn't really moved the ball on our D and starting with that fake punt. I think after that, I feel like he went like 8 of his next 10 or something like that. So that got him back in the game. There at the end, a couple, we want to go in and score on that drive. Obviously a touchdown. We ended up getting a field goal. I believe it made it 2 scores. But then they went right down and answered with a field goal. I thought we had a chance to make it a 2-score game. We ended up missing that field goal. And then I think they got a bomb where they went down there right away. Didn't even make them really work for it. They got a big chunk. Got behind their defense too much today. Gave them some easy ones in that way. And you saw what happened at the end.
Have you ever been through a special teams stretch like this?
In my career, yeah, definitely. It was a disappointing block last week, definitely. Today, that fake punt, it's just the momentum in the game. That's where I thought we had a chance to run away with it, not give them any hope. And that gave them a lot of hope, got them back in it. And obviously would have loved to make that field goal. And then that punt return, I didn't really see it. They got to the left on our side. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but those were 3 big plays in the game.
Deep balls the last 2 games. Is there a common denominator on some of the completions you're making?
No. Different guys, different coverages. No common denominator.
What was your message to them in the locker room, Kyle?
Just how disappointing of a loss that was. I knew everyone was pissed without them having to tell me, and we should be. When you have a game like that where you feel you have every chance to win and you don't get it done, those are usually the more disappointing ones. All 3 phases had their doing that, but there was also times that a phase could take over and not even allow it to come to something. And I told them last night, you got to take their hope away. You give Stafford too much hope, and you put the ball in his hands at the end. That's not a situation you want to be in. And we had every chance to avoid that situation a number of times, and we came up short.
How did you feel Brock played?
It seemed like Brock played his ass off from what I saw. He made a bunch of big plays. He took some good shots down the field. It was tough to not come up with that one on that last drive, especially after missing that field goal. When stuff wasn't there, he did a hell of a job scrambling, making some off-schedule plays. And from what I saw, I thought he played his ass off.
You mentioned the other day when talking about the Rams, how hard it can feel when you lose 2 in a row. How do you make sure this doesn't continue to prove itself?
Same way as always. Last year we lost 3 in a row. So you know how that's going to be regardless. We lost 3 in a row after winning 5 in a row. But still, I know how that felt then. I know how our guys feel now. I know how we felt all week. Had a real good week of practice. Thought it would carry over to the game, and it did in a lot of areas. There were some areas where that's why I thought we had a chance to not only just win but run away with it. And you still got to make those plays in the heat of battle, though. There were some big 3rd downs where we could have got off the field. Obviously, the fake punt where we should have got off the field. But you let teams hang around in this league, let alone one with that type of quarterback. That stuff happens more often than not.
Focus on one player, but Ronnie Bell, does he have to make that catch?
Yeah, anybody does. There's other catches in the game that you want people to make, but and you hope it doesn't have to come down to that. But Ronnie will say the same thing. He needs to make that catch, but if he doesn't, then you'd like to be able to overcome it, and you can overcome it in other ways, but we didn't.
I know there are injuries, but we really haven't seen Ronnie Bell make any plays recently, maybe in his whole career. Does he need to be on the field in that situation? Are there other receivers who should have got a chance there?
There's 5 in a game. We're rotating a lot of guys in there, and no, he was the guy out there. Chris Conley got that earlier in the game, but those 3 receivers we have up. Ronnie's been having a hell of a camp, had a hell of a week of practicing, but he's got to come down with a catch.
What can you say about Juwan's performance?
Juwan was unbelievable. I think the numbers show it, but more than the numbers, just he was a warrior the whole game. He's always like that. Got a lot more opportunities today, and was automatic on every single one, and even some bad looks when I didn't know if the ball should go there. You quickly saw after it that they weren't they weren't going to take that away from Juwan, and he was very inspiring today how he played.
Can't think of many games in your time here where you've lost like this, where you've had to really look like you're in control. Maybe the Packers game a couple of years ago, but do these especially grind at you? Do you already feel it, that this might be a little different than some of the other losses?
Yeah, you just know when you have the opportunities to end it. You know, you don't want it to get to that point at the end. But I definitely know we did. We had those opportunities. We could end it on offense, defense, or special teams. And when all three take their turns there at the end, those are the most frustrating ones.
Obviously, Jake's made a lot of kicks this year, all of them actually. But did you consider, what was the consideration there for going for it versus kicking the 55-yard?
There was no consideration. I think it was 4th and 5, maybe 4th and 6. But it was about making a 2-score game. I felt great about him. I don't feel much different from that distance to 48. Yeah, he's been real good with that stuff, and just missed it, and I'll have to learn from it.
In the one before, I think the short one, I think Jordan maybe lost a yard. Did you end up kicking that because it was 4th and 2 instead?
Yeah, we were. It was very similar to the situation before. You know, I felt good finding a way to go up 2 scores. Definitely wanted it to be 14. The 3rd and 1, we knew if we got any on it, we were going to go for it on 4th, and we did. And the next time, we planned on going for it, but losing a yard and already being up 7. I thought the smart thing was to go get 2 scores. I felt their only chance to get back in the game was to make it a 1-score game, give them the momentum by giving them a chance to stop us on 4th down, and felt pretty good once we got up 2 scores, but that quickly ended.
What did you see from Ayuk?
Some good things. I mean, I thought, from what I saw, I thought he had a good game, but it was solid.
You mentioned that receivers are getting past your defense a little bit too much. Is there anything schematically that's happening there, or just it's just happening?
No. I mean, I think they got 2 times that they ran one route, one they missed I think in the first half on the right side. They came back to it. They got by us again for the big play at the end of the game. They took a shot to Tutu, who we know can run, and that's what they're going to do with them. And I think one time we had a big PI, but those are normal coverages, what we've been doing for years.
How worried are you about Hargrave and the triceps?
I don't really know yet. Always when you hear triceps, you think tears and stuff, but from what they told me, they felt it was more a contusion and stuff, so that's better news. So we'll see, though.
Was Bosa close? Did you have to make a decision today, or was that always just kind of keep an eye on it?
No, he was good. Yeah.
Is there any part of you that maybe anticipated it would be incredibly tough, considering what you have to do and the focus you need, in a season like this coming up to Super Bowl, maybe see that maybe a little bit harder?
No, I didn't really think in those terms. I mean, you can think about that stuff in the off season, but once you get to these games, it's just about that week. And I knew today would be a big challenge. Anytime that a team is 0-2 and a team that does get embarrassed like they did the week before just on the scoreboard, and we talked about it all week, how we were going to get their best shot, and our goal was to give them no hope, to come out strong and kind of take that away. And it seemed like we started out with that plan pretty well, and once that fake punt happened and they got back in, it was much more of a battle.
Things like that. Are you in safety in punt coverage, or was that not called?
Yeah, that's we were expecting a fake punt there, and they still got our edge.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.
Coming out of a game like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty high, with all of us and the standard that we have of, obviously winning and closing out games. And, when you got a 14-point lead, obviously, anything can happen. But for us, it's like, all right, we have the momentum. Let's run with it. We have a good enough team to finish out a game, pretty early and put up points every drive, offensively. So, we're all pretty frustrated. So we just got to watch the film, get better from it. And, we win and lose as a team. Everyone has their moments. But, man, more than anything, I just feel like it comes down to complementary football, man. Once defense gets a stop, we have to score, and we have to be hard on ourselves with that. And, just everything all together tied in. So it's 4 quarters of that. You miss out on an opportunity and give the other team life. It's the NFL, man. The other guys on the other side are really good, and they'll make you pay for it. So we had to learn the hard way today.
Sorry, never suggest quite well. But I mean, like I guess at the end, when it comes down to it, here's a one loss where the plays are thinking about now, like, that happened, that happened, I'm going non-shoot.
Yeah. I feel like there was some third downs and stuff just to stay on the field. early on in the game, and then the 2-minute, right before half. There's just plays, for me where it's like, all right, as an offense, we got to execute and, stay on the field, especially when we have momentum. And then, you let them play around for a little bit, give them life. And then it comes down to a close game like that, like anything can happen at that point. So, but yeah, there are some plays for sure that I can think of myself where I still need to be better. So.
For some of the games you're starting for when you've been under 500, does it feel different? I mean, what's the kind of sensibility going into a week when you're under 500?
Yeah, I mean that's just part of the NFL and being a professional in a professional sport. Like everybody's really good. Last year means absolutely nothing, and every time we show up on Sunday, man, you're going to get everybody's best shot. It's the NFL, and we all have to be real with that. We have to have the mindset of going and taking it, every Sunday, and nothing's ever going to be given to us. And so, obviously it's early in the season, but still, like every game matters. And so, we're just going to take it one day at a time and not freak out about anything, but at the same time, zone in on the stuff that we need to be better at and actually get better. So, and that starts, tomorrow, watching the film, recovering, and then at practice. So, but we have guys that have been through this kind of stuff before. We have guys that have been through these experiences, and so, we're professionals and we'll regroup, and we got a great culture, a great organization, and we'll move forward.
What can you say about Juwan?
He's a dog, man. Absolutely love Juwan. It's the way he comes in every day and then brings energy to our offense, man, with some huge plays and sparks energy and just his love for the game, man. You can see it and you feel it when you're on the field with him. So absolutely love that guy. I'll go to war with him any day of the week.
Rob, I'm sorry if you were asked this already late, but you also talked about feeling the loss. And is this one of the losses that it's important not to flush after 24 hours? What do you kind of focus on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a league where you have to turn the page and get ready for the next opponent. But for us, it's like, you really have to look at the film and understand, like, all right, what did I not do well, and what did I do well, and what can I continue to get better at? Because it's going to show up again in the NFL, man. Stuff happens time and time again, situational football, and so we have to watch this kind of stuff and really get better from it. And it's as simple as that. So, Patriots next week are going to be a great team coming in, and we just got to perform better and execute better and watch this film and be hard on ourselves.
Maybe for that first touchdown, was that initially BA, and then you came off of him to go?
Yeah. Started with BA, and then you come backside, and JJ sort of bluffed like he was blocking and slipped up the seam, and he was my second read, and he was wide open. Great play call.
Juwan was, do you almost think maybe you could have forced it to him on that last possession, or is that just not the way the offense works? Just say, I'm going to throw it to Juwan. He's
On the very last possession, there's still a progression and a read, depending on what the defense is doing. But, in certain moments, there should be an emphasis on, all right, this is the number one guy in the read, which was Juwan, and we gotta be aggressive with that read. So, but in the heat of the moment, man, it's going fast, and I'm just trying to make the best decision for our team and staying on the field and moving the chain. So that's something that I just got to watch and be better at.
on the run, not trying to throw anybody in, but what did you see there? He clearly was open. I mean, you were kind of buying time there and just saw him come over.
Yeah, he had a double move, and that was the look we wanted, and he got his guy. And, by the time I got to him, I think I was just trying to give him a chance, and I don't know if I had enough juice on it, just from where I was at in the pocket. So just try to give him a chance, and obviously I think I could still give him a better ball and everything. So, but he's a young guy. I love him, man, and we all got Ronnie's back. So we're going to continue to need him and build him up, and we're all in this together, man. It's a team sport, man. So it's not one player here. It's all of them, all put together. So, yeah.
Yeah, obviously got more targets than he's had in the first few games. Just where are you guys right now? Do you feel like you're a little off still, or is that coming along as you want?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it comes with the opportunities that you get in games with looks. It's not so, I'm dropping back and going, oh, we're not ready yet. I'm not going to give him the ball. It has nothing to do with that. It's, what's my read? Is it the right look here with BA? Obviously, we're scheming stuff up to get him in a great position to, win and get him the ball. But, defenses do a good job of scheming some stuff up, and they get me off the reads, and I go to other guys. So that's just part of the game. That's the nature of it. But we're going to continue to get better and watch this as well, and so that we can both be on the same page. But I absolutely love BA. He's working really hard right now, and I can tell you that we're going to continue to grow together. So,
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Team has not lost many games like this where you had control and just lost it. What was that like going through it? Did it feel very strange?
Yeah, no, it was unacceptable. We can't do that. We can't beat ourselves, can't make those type of mistakes. Again, all three phases got to play better. We'll look at the tape, fix it, and move on.
Is this a lesson you guys needed in finishing?
I mean, ideally, you don't want that lesson, right? You want to, you feel like you got the right guys in the group. You got enough veteran leadership to understand situations and knowing when to put them away. Obviously, I put a lot on the defense, especially in certain moments to put them away, and we're unable to do that. But you got to learn from a loss and make the changes. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you at the end of the day. You got to get back to work and keep chopping.
We talked a lot about tying rush and coverage together. Where, in your estimation, is the defense in that progression, that effort right now?
I got to watch it. I feel like there was moments of us doing exactly that, doing it right, and then there's moments of us got to be better, right? So I got to watch it to see exactly where we're at.
We're up 14-0, get a stop, and they convert a fake punt, and it seemed like they got into a little rhythm. Could you feel, and Kyle's talking about not giving them any hope, could you feel that at that point they started to get some hope?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, sudden change, you're gonna be in those situations throughout a game. Obviously, you don't want to be in that situation, but defensively, we can't give up 7 points or 6 points right there. We got to hold them either to a field goal, get a takeaway. We had no takeaways today. Usually, if we're minus in the takeaway margin, we're gonna have a hard chance of winning.
Is there a line of overconfidence with this team when you feel like you're off to a big start and just think that we're cool from here?
Honestly, no. I feel like I said, I feel like we got the right guys in the building. Like, it's never a matter of like, man, we're feeling ourselves thinking that we don't have to continue to work hard and earn it every single Sunday. We got guys who understand the game, understand exactly what we're supposed to do. We just got to play better.
Right, I know you're not saying that examining Brock during the game, but I want to talk about, he doesn't have his supporting cast, what's he going to do? Obviously, not Juwan quite a bit. Were you at all surprised by his overall pretty strong performance?
I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I've always, saying his praises. I'm not surprised. I think he had a heck of a game. Same with Juwan. Even though, I'm focused on the defense, I'm still on that sideline watching the offense and seeing him fight for every single bit out there and put on the performance he did. That's exactly why he's, the guy leading us at that position.
How was the communication with Talanoa back in the lineup today?
It was good. Great to have him back. Like I said, I got to watch it, see exactly how things unfolded. But, I mean, I felt his presence. I feel like he did a good job.
Greg, how do you balance having such a tough loss, but also remembering it's week 3 and there's a lot of football?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because you do have to remember that it's early, but at the same time, you can't use that as an excuse to like slack off and like think, oh, we have all this time to get things right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like that was the mindset at all going into this week. We understood the situation and we want to get back on track. It just, we didn't play good enough.
Williams scored 3 touchdowns for one time. What's his specialty? What is he able to do at the line?
Yeah, I don't know. I got to watch the film. It didn't feel like we really gave him much of a contested. I feel like a lot of them were walking. It's like we got to be better down there. I got to watch it, but I mean he's a great running back. He earned that.
Or did you just get to win it? Are you there?
Yeah, I mean my ankle got sideswiped from the side. I got to watch it, but it just was a meaningless play. Even having to shoot through the A gap and then somebody else shooting through, it just ended up being a bang play.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
This one clearly looked like you guys had the advantage, and then it just turned around and bear. That's it.
Plenty of opportunities. I could only speak for myself, and it wasn't good enough, so we got to close them out when we have a chance.
After they converted the fake punt, it seemed like that was kind of the point where they got some rhythm offense. Could you feel that, like in the moment of like, man, just gave them a huge chance to get back in this game?
Yeah, we try to take pride on sudden change opportunities to stand up strong, and it happened quick. Didn't even realize it was on the bench, and then ran out. We got to stop them.
feel like you were the better team?
Yeah, it just doesn't matter when you lose.
Sorry, got here late, so I apologize. But Stafford, you know, he doesn't have his guys, but I don't know, the respect you guys have for him, I mean, do you view him still as, you know, as dangerous as ever coming to the league?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we never underestimate him. Yeah.
Obviously, you had the injuries, you're dealing with it, and then these two losses. At some point, you feel like maybe this might be a little bit of a rough year, or at least a rough start.
It's definitely a rough start, but there's a ton of football to be played. We've been through some tough stretches before, and but we just have to stay together. We have the guys to do it. So,
What's your, Nick, as a captain now, what's your mindset as far as putting this behind you? What do you guys have to do? What does the leadership have to do on this team right now?
I think we have to feel the loss for sure. We can't just move on and act like it's fine. You feel the loss, and you just start stacking week by week.
Yeah, with the big pass plays given up the past couple of weeks, what can you guys do as a defense to tighten up there?
I can't really say. We could be better at every level of the defense.
Ryan played with a ton of desperation and urgency. Do you feel like you guys were able to match it? If not, why?
I don't think it's about necessarily urgency or effort. It's not an issue with us. It's just about executing and the players that need to make plays, making those plays, and it just hasn't been that.
You said you needed to feel the loss. Do you feel like collectively you didn't feel it enough last week?
Also hard to say. I mean, we're not making excuses for any loss, but yeah, we're in a hole now, so we got to dig it out.
And because you guys have been in these holes before, do you feel you're someone uniquely equipped to do it?
Yeah, I do. I think it's just the NFL. It's up and down, and no matter how talented you think you are, you have to play good on Sunday. We've been practicing great. It's not that. It's just we have to understand what teams are trying to do to us and adjust to it.
Were you in any way limited today? Was there any chance you weren't going to play today?
I was planning on playing. I definitely wanted to see how it felt, but I think I made it out good. I did not. I think it's more of an oblique than a rib.
How did it happen?
It actually happened in the Vikings game, and then aggravated in practice. Pretty good.
You guys good?